Hey, what's up, folks? This is Silent X of Confident Gamers, and I got a question for you. So, what does nightmares, headaches, visions, a rundown, somewhat abandoned prison, lots of Bibles, disturbing imagery, lots of matches, some weird write-ins and code on the wall, and memory loss all have in common? All in all these things you do not want to have happen to you in the same place, much less worse at the same time. Unfortunately, you will, and pretty much a lot more. This is a review of a little indie horror title called Inmates. Now, special shout out to the folks at Inmates for providing confident gamers with a full PC game key to review this game. So let's get started. What is Inmates all about? Well, in a nutshell, you play as Jonathan. You wake from a nightmare of some sort. Was it real? Was it a dream? Was it real? We don't know. You gotta play the game to find out. You have no memory of why you're in this abandoned, broken down of a prison with some creepy things going on. You know it's some dark secrets in there somewhere, and you are on the mission to find out what the hell is going on. That is Inmates in a nutshell. So let's talk about some gameplay and control. Now, straight off the bat, be honest, Inmates, it's a very linear, straightforward game. Not top shelf storytelling, but the story, it will hold your attention for a little bit. It's a little interesting. It'll hold you. You're good. Inmates sport very basic controls. In fact, when I'm talking about very basic, when it comes to the options, let's talk about graphic options. You literally have three choices. You have low, you have medium, and you have high. And basically three action buttons. You have interact, strike a match, and exit a puzzle. Of course, that's in addition to your movement keys and all, but yeah, pretty basic. That's all you get. Inmates is a PC only game, but it does have controller support. So kudos for that, especially for those people that are not keyboard and mouse players. So something I did notice, once I started a game, if I needed to possibly go back and, let's say, go in the options and adjust maybe the brightness, that's not going to happen. The game doesn't allow you to do that while you're playing the game. You literally would have to get back out to the main menu of the game, go into the options, and do the adjustment there, and then go back in the game. I don't know how I feel about that. Moving on, because that definitely was a WTH moment at that time. So Inmate describes itself as a psychological horror puzzle game, and for the most part it holds that pretty well at the start. As you go through on your adventure trying to figure out what is going on, there are definitely some tense moments at first, and there was definitely some, what I would say, pseudo jump scares for the most part. But then as you go on, you realize that really there's nothing to be afraid of, and that kind of wears thin at that point. It becomes more annoying than anything, but it still does its part. And what helps for that also is the environment, the setting, the atmosphere, because things are dark. And when I say dark, I don't mean like boogeyman dark. I'm talking about light dark. It's dark. There are places in the prison where there's enough light, but don't get caught in the basement. Don't get caught in the shower room. Don't drop your soap. Just there's a lot of areas that are dark, which does kind of answer the question as why are there so many boxes of matches laying around? Well, that was it right there, because literally the match, when you strike it, it gives you a couple seconds of piercing that dark veil of the pitch darkness that you can actually see, and then it goes out. So I guess that works. But fear not, folks, you will not run out completely of your boxes of matches. You have enough. man, they had a surplus of matches in this abandoned prison. So something else that I did enjoy was the puzzles that were in Inmates. They weren't brain busting, but at the same time they didn't insult your intelligence. Some puzzles, it fit into the setting because, I needed to do this and here's the puzzle, I need to solve it. Other times there might have been one or two where I was basically like, oh, okay, well, I guess I am doing a puzzle, not seeing how it really fit into this, but okay, it's a horror puzzle game, and okay, fine, I'm gonna do this puzzle. There were enough puzzles that were very interesting. I actually like two in particular. I'm not going to spoil them for you, but both of those puzzles, I stepped back and I was like, okay, let's see what exactly I needed to do to solve this puzzle, and it was pretty well made. It was ingenious. I liked it, and everything like that. So good job with the puzzles. Now, control wise, more on that. And this is a sore point of mine. What you're going to notice is that in Inmates, controlling your character Jonathan, he walks everywhere, and that's it. He walks everywhere. There are no options for a sprint. There are no options for a jog. There's no options for a skip or even a brisk banter or a walk. He walks everywhere, and that got tiresome really fast because the prison itself is not that small, but just having to walk, and it was just this slow pace. I guess it adds to the tension. I'm not sure. There were points where, I guess there was a cut, or not a cut scene, but there were times where my character would stop because there was a voiceover that was happening, and I guess he couldn't walk and have the voiceover at the same time. But these sort of things kind of took me out of the game. Also, along with not being able to run or sprint, Jonathan is bolted to the floor. He has no ups, he has no vertical leap. He, I guess, cannot jump and remove both feet from the floor. Yeah, I can't forgive that. In this day and age in a game, your character doesn't jump or something a step up or anything like that. A good example was I was at a part in the game where I had to get from point A to point B, and I couldn't just do that. I had to go across some benches, and these were the low benches, and I had to do a tinsel barrier or walk around and find my way to point B because he couldn't step over the benches. Maybe I'm being picky. Let me know in the comments below. Am I being picky with that? But how pissed off would you be? But yeah, beyond that, yeah, that's with that. Now, when it comes to how the game looks and sounds, the sounds, like I said, you know what? Inmates, I wasn't expecting like a whole deal of just like eye-popping graphics, but give me something. There was the textures in many places in myriad areas were just bland and kind of blended together. There are times where there were doors, or I guess like gates. You couldn't really tell the difference, so you kind of had to like walk to it, and that added with the darkness kind of just it got very disoriented. There were some clipping issues going on. There was a point where I was getting caught on an invisible corner of some sorts. It just, the sound, everything just kind of got also thrown together, and in the options, you don't really have an options to separate the sound, so everything's just there. The voice acting, I will say, not top notch, but definitely it held its own, except when I first heard it. When it came on, it sounded like it didn't belong to the game. It sounded like it was totally separate from the game. I don't know if there's a balancing issue or what, but after a while, I got used to it. I don't know if I just toned it out or what. So yeah. So all in all, look, Inmates, for the price point, $9.99. It's available on Steam right now. In fact, if you go ahead and get it now during the launch week, there's a 10% off. I think bringing it down to like what was that, $8.99. So yeah, I'm gonna leave a link to the Steam store down in the description below. But yeah, so for the price point, it's an indie title. It's a one-man game. It's a one-man development team. Great job, David. It's his first game. So there was a lot of potential in the game. Like, the trailer did hook me. That's the one thing that did. That's what catches you. But when I actually started playing the game, I was like, okay, there's a lot of stuff missing, but still I played. The length of the game, you're talking about 2 to 4 hours, so it's not this lengthy game. So maybe that's a reason to, you could try it out. You're not going to be investing a lot of time in it. Try it out. You never know. Hey, support the indie developers. It's the first game. But I'm wondering if those 2 to 4 hours, it's really padded, because again, Jonathan walks everywhere. Would it be a lot shorter if he could sprint or walk a little bit faster? The storyline, while not like super deep, it still held some intrigue. You might figure it out before the end of the game what's going on, so that's something to think about. And once you finish playing Inmates, I don't see a replay value to it. So yeah, but all in all, hey, make up your own choices. But yeah, thanks for listening to our little 2 cents here. This was our review of Inmates. Like I said, it's David's first indie game, and yeah, that's that. Let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about the game? Is it something that's interesting to you? Is it something that you would pick up? Are we pushing you away from the game, or are we pushing you towards the game? Let us know. All in all, your choice in the end result. So yeah, I am Silent of Confident Gamers. If you like this review, go ahead and hit that like button. Do us a favor, share out. If you want to hang around even more and get more of our videos and everything like that, be sure to hit the subscribe button. Until next time, we'll talk to you. But remember, hey, we're confident gamers. It's where real gamers keep gaming. All right, later guys. Peace.